Welcome to the post-match conference of the first round of the NCAA Division II regionals. We have joining us the head coach of the winning team of University of Tampa, Chris Katnack, and players Mackenzie DeFrisner and Callie Kors. Coach, I'm going to start with you. What was your takeaway from this game?
Just really excited to be advancing. Believe it or not, this team actually was a very good team, and I was quite concerned. We have not played an 8 seed that had this much quality throughout the season. Now, they didn't play well tonight, and that's partly a function of how we played. I thought we played them really tough in the first 2 sets. Third set, we did what we do. But just a big relief to advance, because there's a lot of pressure on these kids, and to win that first one and then move on to the next one. So been doing this a long time, and they're never the same. So they're all as exciting to win and keep moving on. So we're in the 32 now. That's an awesome thing. So
what was the advantage of playing on your home court?
Most of the time, it's an advantage. Tonight, I think it was a good crowd, but getting through tonight with the stress of it, it's really not an advantage, because you are so stressed about trying to advance that first round. Tomorrow, I think we'll relax a little bit more and have a little bit more of an advantage with the crowd. Does that mean we're going to play better? Not necessarily, but I think we'll play a little differently emotionally. So it's always nice to be at home. Our kids, are able to go to class. Our week wasn't disrupted. The other side of that, I will say, it's nice to be with your team in a hotel, because you can spend your time focusing on the match. But for this round, this has been good.
Question for Coach again. You had an undefeated streak for a long part of the season, and it had been stamped by Nova Southeastern earlier this month. But do you think it's a benefit to enter the national tournament without the pressure of trying to maintain a perfect record for the season?
Well, we never tried to maintain a perfect record. We were trying to go 1-0 each match, and but secretly, well, I don't want to go into the playoffs, the single limb, undefeated. And I think you look at the teams. There's a team, University of Missouri St. Louis. We were neck and neck going undefeated. They lost one. They got that off their back. I think it's going to help them in Division I. Nebraska, University of Nebraska, they're carrying the weight of the world, going undefeated, and then they lose a match. I think that's the best thing that could happen to them, in the sense of you did it before it's the single limb.
This is for the players. Does having so many wins on your belt give confidence or lead to pressure?
I think that's pretty 50-50. I think it gives us the confidence to go out there and understand that we have the ability to win on any given day. But being in the SSC, this conference is also one where anyone can win on any given day, because everyone is so good. So it does put in extra pressure, like, all right, we did it once, but can we do it again? So I think it goes hand in hand of helping and hurting at the same time.
I agree. I think it's pretty 50-50. Winning all those matches shows that we have the confidence and the ability to beat certain teams, but then there also is the pressure of it as well. But it's all how you take it and your mindset with it too. You can take it either way. So I think we try and take it as a confidence way than a pressure way, because I feel like being on a University of Tampa volleyball team, there's always a type of pressure, no matter your record.
You guys had a lot of service errors out there today. How do you plan on doing those?
I think for the majority of them, they came towards the beginning of that first set. And then we kind of reined it back in. We calmed down. And tomorrow's a brand new day, so we're just going to go out there. Our goal is to serve tough, though. So if that costs us a couple service errors in the long run, then no big deal.
I agree. Our mindset is to serve tough, so if there's errors that come with that. But also just going back there and taking your time. We all have, a certain routine that we do, so not rushing that routine.
With serving, our goal is always to keep our opponent's passing ratio under 2.0, and it's on a 3-point scale. So we have to serve tough the entire match. If we don't, they will side out easily and score points and can make runs against us. So, yes, we're going to take some risks and make some errors here and there. The only bad serves are the ones that are in the bottom of the net. That's a bad serve. So.
Coach, what happened this year totally different if you compare the last two seasons when the first game was pretty hard. So this one looks like you have a lot of confidence and you play way better.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to play well in the first match. I want to play well at the last match, or second and then the last match. So, and we didn't. Believe it or not, when we hit 317, that's not great. For the score. If you look at the score and look at they hit 040, we only hit 317. So the good news is I think we can play a lot better, and I'll go in the locker room with our kids and we've got to be better tomorrow because the teams go up from there. So the last few years I was kind of fine with that struggle. Early as long as we didn't lose. But yeah. So that was a good question.
To wrap this up, can each one of you tell your highlight from this game?
Go and start down there.
I guess I can't think of one specific highlight, but I think that our blocking was really great and a bunch of really good solo stuff blocks. Those just are like the best to cheer for and the best to celebrate. It's the best feeling ever.
The best.
We get to play a team you're unfamiliar with first round versus a conference school.
That's beneficial, but they're such an unknown, and they went 5 with West Florida 3 weeks ago. Early in the season, they beat some South Central teams, which is a really good region. They beat some teams, and watching them on tape, they scared the heck out of me. So going into a conference team, the problem with this year is we've beaten them all. It's hard to keep beating somebody 2 and 3 times in a row. So that's a little bit of a different egg there. But yeah, it is nice not to have to play a conference team every night of the regional tournament because it's kind of like a conference tournament, which we've been voting against for years. So I'm putting it out there. It's on the. Yeah.
One more, Mackenzie. How are you living this tournament? How is your last one?
I mean, this is just kind of the full send moment. It's now or never. We have a new mentality going in besides the 1-0 of being the hunter rather than hunted. My entire career here since 2019, there's always been a giant target on our back, and it's like, well, guess what? They're going to have their best game because they're playing the University of Tampa, so good luck. And we just kind of have to take that stress and pressure and turn it into our momentum and what we can do on our side of the net and kind of reverse that and put a target on the other team. So I was sitting here, just last year about this time, and they made a video about it the other day, and I was like, I'm already ready for next season, and now there is no next season, so we got to put it all out there.
You talk about what you have there.
Oh, yeah. So this is our jar this year. It's our why. So before every game, each person gets a piece of paper and writes down who they're playing for. And then we just kind of have like a little ritual before each game that we put our paper in the jar, and then it sits out there. So if we ever need a reminder as to why we're out there playing, it's sitting right there on the bench.
Is that something that's new?
Each year we have a tradition. In 2021, we had a fun tradition that we would do right before coming out that's just kind of like a uniting process. So that's same concept, different idea.
Was it your idea?
It was, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Congratulations on your win.
Does it matter how far away we are?
There you are.
Okay.
Welcome to the first round of the NCAA Regional Conference, and we have with us joining Spring Hills head coach Peggy Martin and student athletes Mia Savidra, and Kristen Mitternight. Coach, I would like to start with you. What were your takeaways from this game?
I think we got matched up with a very good team. And we never could really get our rhythm because they served so well, and we didn't pass as well, and we couldn't really get in rhythm with our offense. They took it away from us, and they blocked well, and they did everything well. They're big, strong, athletic, and they still move very well and play great defense. So, Chris has a great team. He always does, but this one is extra special, and they're a very, very good volleyball team.
After winning the SIAC championship, what was the mindset coming into this game, especially when you're facing the number one in the nation?
Well, I think you're always believing that you have a chance, and we practice well. We're missing a few parts to our team that, we were making changes, even losing a player, got hurt in our conference championship. So it's been a work in progress all year. We have several kids that were getting a lot of playing time that never had playing time before. And even a senior that got to play a lot this year did a great job for us. So I think we knew we had a chance. Didn't practice so well yesterday, and so I thought, oh, boy. Because when you're here, you usually have a good practice, and we really didn't. But that being said, the other team was really good. And, as well as we could have played, maybe we would have gone 4-5, but they're a very good volleyball team.
Question for Kristen. You had some very strong serves today, including 2 total service aces of the 4 that Spring Hill had. What went right when you were serving the ball?
I will say, starting out this year, I didn't really have that good of a serve. And Coach was like, come on, Kristen, you need to hit the ball. You don't really have much to lose. Practice your serve like you're going to practice in a game. So I go back there and I'm like, okay, come on, Jesus, help me get this ball over and in, and then I don't know, that's my answer, I guess.
After a flat first set, you got your momentum and carried it to the third set. What changed right there? What benefited you guys?
I think for the third game, we really came in there with a different mindset. We really tried to just keep pushing. I think for volleyball, you never have to give up. Just always keep going. Even if the odds are against you, and even if you aren't doing your best, you can still come back and push through and win that third set. So we came in with a fresh mindset, I think, and just kept trying to push forward and keep going because you really did want the game and to at least keep playing today because this is our team and we love playing.
I feel like for me, 2 of my best friends at the beginning of the season were the ones that got hurt, 2 of my senior best friends. So, the third set, I don't want to cry. So the third set, we just pulled together. We were like, come on, let's do it for them. Give it your all. They wish they could be out here. I don't mean to cry. It just get emotional sometimes. Sorry.
Okay, and I'll help out a little bit here. I also think you all know volleyball. So to play really a good team and to beat them 3 straight sets is hard. And so I think Tampa started making some errors. Tampa went pretty error-free the first 2 sets, and they started making some errors, which allowed us to be in the match, okay? If they don't make a few errors, we're probably not in the set, So I think that third, we all preach as coaches, you can't let up the third set, and, it always happens that the errors happen in the third set. It didn't happen in 1 and 2. So I think that helped, but I also think we played with, when you're the underdog, you're supposed to play loose, and we did not play loose, okay? And I think in the third set we did play loose, and whatever happened, happened.
Coach, what's it mean to coach in a match of this magnitude just because you and Coach Katnack are 1-2 active wins?
He's older than me.
It's and you got him by 200 and some wins, but
And I don't have him by 200 and something years, so.
Historic match, because you don't pretty much have 1 versus 2 active wins leaders very much. So is that something you guys think about at all? Or just,
Not until you just said it just now, but yeah, I respect Chris, been trying to beat him for years, and we have a good relationship, and I respect what he does, and I think, I was at another school for a very long time, and of course he's been at Tampa for a very long time, and you don't see that these days. You don't see, really good coaches staying where they belong, and he's smart enough to do that, and this is where he belongs, and he does a great job with it.
Coach, what are you going to miss most about your senior career?
You don't want me to start crying now? Are you trying to just have us be the teariest? Well, Kristen's getting married soon, so I know I'm going to get an invitation to the wedding. So she likes her coach well enough to invite me to the wedding. We're hoping that maybe our other seniors might take their COVID year and their hardship year and come back, because they really help us on the outside, for sure. But every team is different. Every team has a personality. And this team's personality was to never quit, because we really had more injuries in one year than I think I had in, well, not all years put together, but a lot of years put together. So I think their persistence, and they're really, really nice kids, too. I love going to practice every day. No more practice. Oh, you'll have beach. And I should say that this is kind of coincidental, that y'all might not realize this, but Mia's mother played for Chris just a couple years ago. So that's also a real good relationship thing going on here with their volleyball club, and so yeah, it's a good rivalry. Chris and I, he just wins it all the time. That's the bad thing.
Just to wrap it up here.
Before we wrap it up, sorry. No, but and as you mentioned, kind of this rivalry, Chris Katnack actually did say in his interview that he was fearing the matchup against Spring Hill. He really respects your talent. Do you think that'll help next year as you push back to the tournament to try to make the upset happen against the Spartans in this rivalry?
Well, as I'm looking across the net from him, he's got all those kids coming back, as I see, maybe not one. They're going to be good for, again, if you don't, we were close last year. And I really think the injury, we started our year, we were a really good volleyball team. And we ended our year as a good volleyball team. But injuries make a difference. You never know. So he needs to make this year happen, because he's got the talent, this year for sure. And hopefully they'll be back and everybody stays healthy. But I don't know where we'll be next year, because with the transfer portal, with kids getting hurt, with, the turnover that you have, I like the people that we have coming back, and hopefully we'll add some people that'll help. But every year is different, so I don't think we can plan on next year till next year's here.
Mia, you're a true freshman?
I'm a freshman, yes.
How important is it just for you to soak in this experience?
I mean, it was something I never really thought of too much of, and like when I was here, it was just like a eye-opener, really. It was like just a whole new world, really, coming in, like, playing sports. I always imagined I'd play college volleyball when I was younger, growing up and stuff like that. So actually being here is, like, just really an awe moment. Like, it's really just something expected, like, thank God, but it was just something I always look forward to, and it's something I've been really enjoying.
Just to wrap it up, can you each tell us your highlight from this game?
For me, I think my highlight was I got one hit. That was pretty decent on that. And honestly, being with the team, really just on the court and just going through that whole thing was really just a fantastic game for me.
I feel like as a senior, it was really fun to just play with all my team like one more time, just like and then going into beach. I feel like it was just really, I had to just take a breath in and out. That's what we did right before we started. So I think we've had like really good leadership across the board, and it's been really fun to watch Mia grow, and even just like all the other freshmen, Haley, and just everyone stepping up for like all the injuries that's happened. It's been really fun to watch everyone come together from all the adversity that we've had this whole season. It's been crazy to see like how much we'll fight and like just be like, all right, let's do it for each other. And I think that's been like one of the best experiences I've ever had at Spring Hill.
You know, I mentioned earlier, we tried quite a few lineups this year, and we tried a different one tonight too. And I think the fact that they can adjust to whatever I put out there for them, it was a little shaky at the time. Some of us didn't know where we were supposed to be, but I get that. I think just their resilience and their, okay, coach, you know, they probably think I'm crazy, but okay, coach, and they go and they do it. And so that's what I'll take home from tonight and this team the whole year.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.